What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of UFTA Premium. I'm your host, Darren Walters, and in this week's episode, we are going to talk about small updates as far as the practical side of creating UFTA and getting it prepped and ready for potential publication. And we're also just going to do a nice run through the game with all the updated features so that you can know what to expect, right? How many other board games do you know where you can learn everything about it before actually purchasing it, right? You can see everything in action and see what we're up to. So, all right, so without any further ado, let's go ahead and discuss those updated changes. So, this copy of UFTA is nice. This is my prototype, but it has a few problems with it. One of the surprises from the print company was the size of these crop tiles. Right, so if you'll notice, they're really thick and they're very durable and very sturdy, which is great because that's what you want for heavy use, right, with everybody's hands. So that's good news. But they're a little bigger than I thought, and they didn't quite fit in these trays. They really should fit horizontally like this. But they don't fit, but it turns out that turning them vertically accomplishes just the same thing in less space. So for that, we found a workaround. So that's the only problem. And then of course with the fields, you'll notice there's a little bit of misalignment with the printer, and that's not a big deal. That can be easily fixed, so it's not a problem. However, on my end, the things that I've gotten wrong, I've sent some bad stuff, bad files to them, and I've paid for it. I've delayed the processing of UFTA. So, but I've never done this before. This is my first and only board game, so it's all new territory. But I can tell you that I'm getting awfully close to turning UFTA into a retail product that might be available through Walmart. I've been weighing the options, Amazon versus Walmart, and there's pros and cons for each of those, and I don't know that I'll be able to do it. If I connect with Walmart, that's great. I am not an established business. Like UFTA is my personal business, I guess, but it's not it's not a taxable business, and so I have to figure out with Walmart what my tax identification number is, and I have to probably get a business license, a trademark, and maybe logo and all that good stuff, having a UPC barcode on the product just to make sure it's legitimate to sell. So you got to have license for that, and there's a little bit of paperwork and fees, but I think this is finally going to be the big one, the one that I hope shows up on your Walmart website and you can purchase it at your leisure. So, but we're still a long way from that. Right now we're just dealing with print issues. I have 3 cards. These are my adversity cards that had minute changes just to make some rule clarifications, make things easier to comprehend. So there's no question about it when you're playing your family and friends. So we have high winds. It says return 2 cover crops to unharrowed status. Well, what we really mean to say is return 2 fields, because that's ultimately what can be harrowed or unharrowed with the disc, right? So really it's just going to replace cover crops with fields on that one. Same goes for toxic drift from a neighbor's farm. We're going to return 2 fields to unharrowed status. And then the flood card has a minor issue. It says remove all crops on the fields. Well, my particular thinking on that is it's too devastating. Psychologically, so many of us have been I don't want to say indoctrinated, but it's we associate floods with biblical plagues and displeasing God, at least the biblical God. And so I think it's too demoralizing to come up with the notion that all of humanity gets wiped out in this flood. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to change this to remove 3/4 crops on fields, because like Pandora's box, the last thing in the box is hope, right? We want the silver lining, we want the hope, we want something to cling to, despite all life's adversities, traversities, and woes, tragedies and woes, I mean. So yeah, we always want to hang on to that, cling on to that shred of motivation and goals that keeps us going. So that's what we have in UFTA, and hopefully I'll be able to share that with you sometime this year. So anyway, so that's the 3 cards. The other updates are I eliminated the word Fartenschnudel. I thought it was funny. It describes the investing in the crops, right? You can place 1, 2, or 3 tokens on a crop that you think is going to be harvested, and then you get to double that amount. Or you could lose it, of course. You could lose your amount, depending on adversities. Well, yeah, so I'm going to we're going to keep that feature, but we're going to change the name. It's going to be changed from Fartenschnudel to a maybe doodle, right? So there's a maybe doodle chance that you'll accomplish your goals, but there's nothing certain. Okay, so that's that change. And then the other big change is there's going to be an added token, the same size as the hunger tokens. It's going to be the trade token. And I mentioned this in a previous video. The trade token allows you to trade with somebody else. They get 10 tokens knocked off the net. You get a 2-for-1 trade or a 1-for-1 trade, right? So that's a pretty good motivation and incentive to have lively discussions with your fellow growers and work out some deals. And you can enjoy wheeling and dealing with your family and friends. So all pluses in my book. All right, so we have 2 dice. We don't really need that. So say no for now. Okay, and then we'll just play a little bit of the game, and if there's any issues that come up, I will address them. Because you never know what's going to happen in UFTA. There's unpredictability in the weather, in human behavior, and supply and demand at the marketplace. You don't know how volatile or how safe or predictable it's going to be, right? So that's the chances you take. Some of you can do math and figure this stuff out, which is great, but I still don't think it gives you complete certainty. Okay, so here's a gamble. I get a gamble. Four. We're going to plan our best stuff, which is broccoli. So here's somebody taking a chance early with the undercut crop. That might not be a bad idea if you know you have it. The reason it might be a good investment is because you can place the fender doodle on top of it. You place the fender doodle on top, and that will ensure that nobody takes it. However, the game is opened up now because it's just an activity to move a fender doodle. It's not an action, which means other growers can move your fender doodle. And so they might be able to disrupt you. But I still think ultimately it's worth trying. You know, it's up to you to decide how much risk you want to take in your UFTA. Okay, well, there's no ones. No ones. There's 4 productive. Here we have beans. We're gonna go with beans. 5. 3 back. 2 in the cup. Okay. Cucumbers. No. Not ready yet. Not ready. Yeah, I'm taking a time out because I noticed that I have broccoli. See, check it out. Might be upside down. I have broccoli. How does that affect this grower though? I can't really, you can't discard a crop for no reason. You have to process it, so I can't really attack that. But I can remove their fingerdoodle. That's a free activity. And I'm going to plant my squash, cultivate. Okay, that's all I could do. Yep. Okay, here's a gamble. Productive on beans. Beans on the wrong one. It's 7. Squash. We'll keep the squash. Get rid of beans. Oh. No, okay, so time out. This grower over here, they're discarding a crop because they have one too many, because we harvested beans, right? It needs to move up. But now we have the issue of we have one too many crops in our weight cue tray, and so that means that we're just going to go ahead and we're going to replace that. We're going to take the broccoli out, like so, and voila, it displaces the broccoli. So, you know, here's a case where we eroded their defense, we got rid of the fingerdoodle, and then we took another chance and or another opportunity to move the broccoli up out of its spot, thereby disrupting the 2-crop combo. So that can happen. You know, you're the one that has to risk. You have to weigh you just have to weigh the odds. You gotta have a pretty strong handle on probability, maybe in statistics. Okay, so here's 5. Squash on the wrong one is 10. Corn moves up. 4 broccoli, cultivate and harvest. Broccoli on the wrong one is 1. We'll just say we did it. And we should only have 1 back. 1 to cook. Okay. Yeah, so that really hurts this grower. They didn't accomplish their 2-crop combo. And they're going to pay even more because they're going to go bankrupt. There's no easy way out of this. It's going to hurt financially. So might as well bite the bullet. 4. Cultivate and harvest. Okay, I'm going to go to cucumbers. 5. Let's do some chard. 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 in the cup. Chard on the wrong one. 10 tokens. Two is productive. We can't do anything. Move our beans up. Gambling's not going to happen. Cucumber goes to kale. Gambling's not going to happen. 6 is sabotage. Kale on the wrong one is 15. Oh, wait, we don't have that. Never mind. No, we've ran out. And so this person lets somebody else look at their stuff and they take something. Kale, beans, let's see. Notice that when you're performing an audit like this, the item that is taken isn't given to another grower. It simply goes to the discard pile at the top of the board. And then whatever you draw, the grower draws. I mean the person who's testing them or looking at their stuff, whatever they draw has to be of less value than what was taken. Okay, so that's that. All right, so let's see what's going on. Not sure we have anything new. Oh, I forgot to mention, I am going to be I'm going to be working with a graphic designer. Almost everything in Oopta has already been designed, but you know, I did some rookie amateur mistakes. I made some mistakes in software. One thing that might help you out is if you're working in something like Adobe, it's not Premiere, but it's blanking on the name of it. Anyway, if you're working in GIMP or anything that's software related, what's going to happen is you might reach a point where you're done. You've created a bunch of layers on your project, and you have an option of collapsing them, right? You can collapse them all into one layer for a final output, like to a PDF, right? PDF file. Well, if you do that, that's great, but the problem is if you have problems or something comes up where you need to get back in there and change some things, or you're collaborating with someone, then you got a problem, because now all you have is a PDF file, all the layers are collapsed, and then they can't help you, right? And so when you go to save, just please remember to do this. Just remember to you know, save as, and then you want to save a version of your file that has all the layers separated, so that your collaborators, your graphic designer, or whoever's working with you can partner up and move stuff around when you get closer to your print phase, your print production phase. So, okay. Well, that was the main thing. I'm going to be working with them. We're going to get this figured out, and with any luck, we're going to have print and play work their magic, and I'm going to have orders going out to hopefully a Walmart near you. So we'll see. It takes a little while to process that stuff, and so we're kind of pending. We're in a holding pattern until then. So, but that's going to do it for me here. I think we tested everything we're going to test. I can't practically test the trade options, you know, without more people around. So that's going to become a top priority, I think, in the future videos. So, all right, so that's going to do it for me. If you have any questions, you know, you can always shoot me an email, let me know, a phone call. I'm online, of course. If you go to YouTube, you just type in Oofta. You can like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. That would be great. And yeah, I think we're good to go. All right, we'll see you next time, everybody. Keep on playing Oofta until I see you then. Bye.